Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. We're back with night 2 of the qualifying for the ButtKicker 180-minute figure 8 race. And that main feature will be here on Throttle Up Racing Network tomorrow night, so make sure you do not miss that. But tonight, we've got 2 races, 2 qualifying races, and this is how that's going to work out. The ButtKicker 180-minute figure 8 qualifying format. Top 2 from qualifying, each qualifying session, so 4 people will advance straight from their qualifying speed. First session, 2 from the first session, 2 from the second session. They will not race in the heat races or the qualifying main event. Then we'll have 2 heat races, 20 laps apiece. They'll have 1 faster pair, so they don't want to get hit in that middle section in the crossover. That will determine the lineup for the qualifying race feature at the end of this. Then our qualifying race feature, it'll be 40 laps. Once again, only 1 faster pair, and the top 5 of that race will advance to the ButtKicker 180-minute figure 8 main event right here tomorrow night. Right now, Andre Bieber, Dylan Holford, our top 2 quickest in practice. Looks like they've figured out some way to get a half lap actually scored on there. So we're not really sure who the fastest is, but of those that have had a legitimate time, Noah Allison with a 20:43, pretty quick time. We'll see if Noah can come away with the pole. Garrett Fox, 4th quick, and Xavier King right now, 5th fast. So we have our ones that got qualified in last night. This is our second night of qualifying races. We've got Presley Sora, Danny Cochran, Dakota Bro, Braden Laster, Aaron Gordon, Travis Moore, Daniel Mosteller, Timothy Perkins, Tony Grogan, Regan Gum, Morpheus Perry, Julian Valadez, Jeff Ward, and Blaine Aiken. That's 14 competitors already settled. Tonight we'll add another 14. Then there'll be a last chance qualifier and a couple of choices from those that haven't made it. Provisionals, they'll get in. So we'll have a very large field here tomorrow night. Currently 12 drivers in this first session. There'll be 12 drivers in the next session, at least 12. So should be an exciting race. 25 seconds away from qualifying, and like we said a minute ago, 2 of those drivers from qualifying will be making it in straight into the main feature tomorrow night. Everyone else will have to race their way into the top 5. All right, here we go into qualifying. 2 drivers going to make it straight in. First one out, John Forbes Jr. In the number 3, William Bartholomew in the 15 rolls out to get his lap up to speed. Kyle Calkins, there he is. R.C. Rigdon in the 08 POW-MIA. A happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Appreciate all you've done for us. Dylan Holford will roll out, and John Forbes Jr. will come around to make his first time lap. Garrett Fox, top of the board right now with a 20:27. That is a fast lap. He's going to get reset. R.C. Rigdon with a 2078. That's the time everybody's trying to beat right now, is a 2078 to be advanced straight into that main feature. Isaiah Proctor, 2/100ths of a second out right now. Can anybody knock off those top two? Dakota Redmond, 5th quick right now. And Isaiah Proctor will move in, ties the time of Rigdon, but in that next number, on the 3rd number on the decimal, he's got the smaller number, so he will move on. Trying a little too hard, pushes it out of the corner. Xavier King. Now Noah Allison comes across the line with a 2053. Absolutely sold it. So Noah Allison will be in 2nd spot. See if anybody else is out there still running their laps. We got Xavier King and Dakota Redmond. Brady Powers in the number 12 out there running his laps. Andre Beaver currently 12th quick. See if we can get our top 2 qualifiers in. Noah's still out there trying to get another lap. The only person that's out there that might be able to knock him off is R.C. Rigdon. I think everyone has run their laps. We'll try and get these top 2 in. Noah Allison still out there on the track. You see him out there. Now back to the pit lane. Trying to get a faster lap to get that pole. One more out there to run. Taryn Modicurdy. Let's see where he qualifies. And he'll spin it around. He'll be our 13th contestant here. Can Taryn move up to 1st or 2nd? And time has expired, so Garrett Fox and Noah Allison will move straight to the main feature. And we have Garrett Fox in the chat. Let's see if we can get a word with Garrett Fox before this race starts. Hey, Garrett, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, you come away with the pole and you advance straight to tomorrow night's feature race. What are your thoughts on the car and how's it handling for the long speed? We know you got short run speed.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. I have been excited about this race, and all year since the one we ran last year, and just haven't found the time to sat down and practice or test or anything really. So I actually, let's see, about 2 hours ago sat down for the very first time and ran my first laps in probably 6-7 months on this track. So didn't have a setup worth anything, and kind of started from scratch and got something together. So I have no idea how it does on long run. My main focus was trying to get in on qualifying so that I could use the rest of the time to focus on long run speed, tire wear, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. But my notes say that you have the most wins, 7 wins, winningest driver in iRacing Extreme Figure 8 racing history. So what goes into effect to win one of these races, especially a long 3-hour race like we got tomorrow night?
yeah, I mean, a lot of those wins, to be honest, are 100-lappers or nothing like what we're going to be doing here. I had high hopes for 3-hour last year and came to a halt pretty early on, I believe, so only led a few laps at the beginning. It's just hard to, it's hard to stay out of trouble with this many cars on the track. Obviously, tonight's race, there's not too many cars in the qualifying races, but when we get into the feature and we've got 30, I think it's 30 cars or something like that. It's definitely hard to stay out of trouble, hard to stay from getting hit and things like that. So I guess the biggest thing in these races is just keep the fenders on it, really. I mean, you got to stay out of trouble. If you can get hit and you have to take a fast repair or something like that, it's not the end of the world. The worst part is if you get hit and end up flipping or something, and then you've got a tow. That really kills your race, and that happened way too many times last year. So I'm going to try my best to start up front and try to get away from people as early as possible. Obviously, it's kind of impossible to do with the crossover, so we'll see if I can kind of weave my way through there and stay out of trouble for the most part. See what we can do.
All right, sounds good. You got anybody you'd like to shout out or thank on this pole effort?
Yep, 5-8 Designs, Gadget Solutions, and then definitely my dad, James Fox. He helps out with any questions I ever need, and kind of on my own tonight for the setup, but he's usually my setup guy, and I can't thank him enough for all the help he's given me, learning these cars and figuring out over the years. So hopefully we can have a good run this weekend.
Absolutely, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow night. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And that was Garrett Fox. This first race is underway. Reminder that this race does not qualify you in to the main session. This is a heat race to set up the starting lineup for the qualifying race that does qualify you in. So only 6 competitors in this, and there'll be about 10 or 12 in the next one. We'll have another heat right after this one, but let's go ahead and talk to our second driver that's qualified in, Noah Allison. See if we can get a word with Noah. Hey Noah, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Sir?
Hey, a phenomenal run, a very fast race car. What are your thoughts after qualifying your way straight to the feature tomorrow night, and what do you think you're going to look like on the long runs?
Well, I know one thing's for sure. It's going to be totally different than qualifying. You want a car that's going to handle. Instead of just laying down one lap, you need to be consistent and keep your nose clean. So hopefully we'll only get a top 5 out of it. If not, try to win it. But it's my first time running it, so.
Yeah, do you think that qualifying straight through, I think most people think it's, a pretty good advantage not having to go through this, but to me, I would think it would be a disadvantage to not have 60 laps more experience. But the security of being, knowing that you're there has got to be worth it.
It is for sure. And I mean, we get 60 minutes of practice tomorrow, and that's enough time to make long runs, see what's going to do, make your changes, and really hit your marks for that stuff.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Good way to look at it. You got anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank after advancing straight to the feature tomorrow?
Yeah, Brinkley Hefner Racing, Playboy Fab, JHGD Wraps, Spotter Cost Speed Labs, Lynch Jr. Photo and Design, and I think that's it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be talking to you tomorrow night, and hopefully it'll be in Victory Lane.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one, Noah. Good luck.
You too.
All right, that was Noah Allison. Now let's head in and take a look at this qualifying heat we got going on. Right now, Isaiah Proctor out front, got a big lead. You got to think that's going to bode well for this race that's coming up. He's going to have to avoid these cars. He's so fast. He might catch one in the crossover here. You see him letting up and letting them by. Right now, Xavier King in second place. And every one of these positions is going to count twice, basically, for the starting position, because you're going to jump a whole row. We seen a driver last night that was very fast in practice, very fast in this first heat race, almost won it, got spun. That put him at the back of the field for the qualifying race and just could not get to the front and ended up not advancing. So Xavier King currently second, John Forbes Jr. in third. Brady Powers in fourth. William Bartholomew currently in the fifth spot. You see the gap, he's 10 seconds back. Taryn McCurdy. Oh, and he hits the leader. That's the leader, John Forbes Jr. No, Proctor, excuse me. And he'll drop all the way back to last. Currently in our scoring. So that'll move him all the way back. Let's take a look at what happened there, right in the middle of the crossover. Right there, a big hit from Taryn McCurdy. So Proctor is out of this race right now. There's another one. That's Xavier King, our leader. He gets hit. And now John Forbes Jr. will move into the lead. Brady Powers in second, Xavier King in third. Tarn right now in fourth. Now, we are on the white flag lap. This does not eliminate anybody. This is only setting up our starting grid for the qualifying race. But Isaiah Proctor going to have to start at the back of the field after being almost a whole lap ahead and getting taken out there. Now we will head into the second of our qualifying heats. And we are setting the grid for the first qualifying race of the night. And Isaiah Proctor in the chat, a good sport. Gonna have to start at the back of the second race, but got the speed to drive through the field. I don't expect it to be too much of an issue, but he's gonna have to drive all the way up to fifth and probably gonna start around 10th place, I think is where he's gonna start, 9th or 10th. So we'll see what he's able to do for this second qualifying heat. RC Rigdon out front. In this second heat, you've got RC Rigdon, Dakota Redmond, Kyle Calkins, Dylan Holford, and Andre Beaver. This 20-lap segment will set up the starting grid for our 40-lap feature. or a 40-lap qualifying feature, and the top 5 in that race will advance to tomorrow night's 180-minute figure 8 race. We are about to go green. Coming down to the line, we'll go green right here. RC Rigdon leads them off. Can Dakota Redmond get down to the inside? The 11 of Kyle Calkins with a move. They're side by side out of turn number 1. In through 3 and 4, Dakota Redmond will get out front. He's setting sail, trying to run down RC Rigdon. Kyle Calkins in the 3rd place, getting a little bump and a little pressure. Dylan Holford, who spun out there. So now he's going to be in the back. RC Rigdon already pulling out to a pretty good lead. He's got a good setup on that race car. Already close to a car at the intersection. Dakota Redmond running down our leader. Can he get him? Andre Beaver's battling with Kyle Calkins. Beaver did not have a good qualifying lap, but has passed 2 race cars already to move up a couple of rows on the starting grid for the main qualifying race. Side-by-side battle, Kyle Calkins. Oh, he gives a tap to the 68. Maybe the 68 just got loose there. We'll take a quick look at it. Oh, and there was a little bit of contact. Get going again live now. Kyle Calkins in the 3rd place. Andre Beaver right there in 4th as the leader of RC Rigdon starts to run down. And an incident happened right there with Dakota Redmond. I think it involved Beaver, I'm not sure. Right here, bam, that's the 11 of Kyle Calkins. And that busted that number 99. He is hurt. You see the left front tire all bent up. He has to go to the pits right now. RC Rigdon, the only car out there running, I think, still. Kyle Calkins is 2nd. He's in the pits. Andre Beaver 3rd. Now Beaver will move up to 2nd. But he is a lap down. So Andre Beaver, now he spins out. No worries for RC Rigdon. All he's got to do is just run some quick laps to get to the end. All these other drivers trying to get out of the pits, as every position matters in the starting spots for the next race. Both Dylan Holford and Dakota Redmond both in the pits. RC Rigdon out to a 1-lap lead. Kyle Calkins back down pit lane. The only way that Andre Beaver is going to win this race is if he's able to maybe tap RC Rigdon around as they cross over each other right here in the middle. 3 cars all over each other. Rigdon sideways. And Dakota Redmond trying to get one of his laps back, showing that that car has speed. Just got involved in an unfortunate incident, and he tags the leader sideways. RC Rigdon able to control it and drive it out of that spin. Four laps to go in heat race number 1. No, sorry, heat race number 2. Everyone all on different laps right now. RC Rigdon on the lead lap. Andre Beaver second, 1 lap down. Dakota Redmond is 4 laps down in third. Kyle Calkins fourth, 5 laps down. And Dylan Holford is currently 7 laps down. And that's what you're going to see a lot of tomorrow night. Dakota Redmond goes sideways. You're going to see a lot of cars getting hit there in the middle, and drivers might have a 4, 5, or 10 lap lead, and then all of a sudden they get hit and they've got to tow, and now that 10 laps is all of a sudden gone. Coming around to the checker flag, RC Rigdon will win heat race number 2. Andre Beaver finishes second, Dakota Redmond third, Kyle Calkins in fourth, and Dylan Holford in the 5th position. As we go to our qualifying race, a 2-minute warm-up before we get going. But the top 5 in this race will move on. And then after this, we'll do it all again with another session. .24 seconds left as we're getting ready to go into our elimination round. 40 laps about to be put on the board, and the top 5 will advance to tomorrow night's 180-minute figure 8 race right here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. Isaiah Proctor going to have his work cut out for him. We saw just how fast that he was in that qualifying heat, but is going to have to start at the back of the pack. Can he make it to the front? Garrett Fox and Noah Allison both advance through qualifying to tomorrow night's feature race. In the grid for this qualifying race, starting from the front, John Forbes Jr., R.C. Rigdon in second, Brady Powers in the third spot, Andre Beavers will start fourth, Xavier King will start in the fifth position, Dakota Redmond will start sixth, Taryn Motokurty in seventh, Kyle Calkins in eighth, William Bartholomew in ninth, 10th will be Dylan Holford, and starting shotgun on the field, Isaiah Proctor will start in the 11th spot. He's got to make it up to the top 5. We're waiting for our last drivers to grid. We are ready to go. William Bartholomew did not grid, so he looks like he will be out of this one. John Forbes Jr. leading us off. Pace car off. We've got 1 lap to pace around, and then 40 laps will determine our 5 that move on to tomorrow night's main feature. Green flag, we're underway. John Forbes Jr. out to the early lead. R.C. Rigdon trying to make a move, but to the inside, Brady Powers in the 12. Isaiah Proctor with a big move around turn 1. Sideways goes the 5. Proctor able to avoid it. Taryn Motokurty is the one that goes around. And Isaiah Proctor already up to the 6th position. We saw how fast he was. He started 11th, and in 2 laps has driven from 11th to 6th. He's got to get up to the top 5. Now he's there. Isaiah Proctor is in that 5th position. Looks like the 68 went around. Andre Beaver, who was up front, had an issue. It's now how much further can Proctor get up through the field? He doesn't want to be the one that everyone's racing really hard. R.C. Rigdon out to the early lead. John Forbes Jr. right behind him. The battle right now is for the 4th position. Xavier King's in 3rd. Brady Powers in the number 12, and Isaiah Proctor battling hard for 4th and 5th. As an incident up front, that takes out Dylan Holford's one of them. John Forbes Jr., our 2nd place runner, is now back to 7th, and that car is hurt. He's going to have to go to the pits. Got hit in the intersection, and John Forbes Jr. cannot control that car. That'll put Dakota Redmond in the number 99 into the transfer position. Kyle Calkins right behind him, trying to reel him in. R.C. Rigdon out there by himself right now. Xavier King not too far behind. Brady Powers in the 3rd position. Isaiah Proctor in 4th. Kyle Calkins 5th now. And Dakota Redmond losing ground on our top 5. Proctor, oh, gets hit by the 3. The 3 who had just came out of the pits. And Proctor with another unfortunate incident, but I think he's got some damage on the right front of that car. I know he's got a couple of cones stuck. And he is pushing wide. Can he make it 30 more laps? He has to come in the pits. Dakota Redmond now in the spot. John Forbes Jr. has already used his fast repair. Nothing else to help him. So John Forbes Jr. likely out of contention. And Isaiah Proctor in 7th. Oh, and someone gets taken out right in front there. That was the 68 of Andre Beaver. Not exactly sure who hit him there. Take a quick look at it. Who's coming across the middle? That's the 5. I think that's Taryn Motorcurdy. That's who that is. And the 5 with some damage. Right now, Dakota Redmond has the transfer spot. He's still on the lead lap, 15 seconds out. Beaver's 1 lap down. Motorcurdy is 1 lap down. Proctor is 3 laps down, so he needs some of these other drivers to get hit. But Isaiah Proctor is back out onto the racetrack. He will have an opportunity to get in through the last chance qualifier tomorrow night before the main event. Several cars there in the middle. As Taryn Motorcurdy, one of them involved. That's one that Isaiah Proctor needed, and he does get by. So Proctor back in the 7th. So right now, Andre Beaver is in the show right now in 5th. I think he's still 1 lap down. R.C. Rigdon out front. Isaiah Proctor has moved into the 6th position, and he has gotten one of his laps back. He is 2 laps down, trying to reel in the hard way, the 68, and he is a little over a half a lap behind him, but they are on the same lap, I think. Dakota Redmond not too far in front of them. And the 08, the 68, nope, he's still out there. The 08 gets hit there. That was R.C. Rigdon, our leader, that got hit. Left front damage to the 08. Can he keep it going? Side-by-side battle with Xavier King for the lead. Let's take a quick look at that crash for R.C. Rigdon. Oh, one was sliding sideways, so it wasn't a big hit, but it did cause damage to the front of that car. And he's now pulled out to another lead. Fastest car on the racetrack right now by a long shot is Isaiah Proctor. . But he needs some help, as he is, with that right there, is now 32 seconds behind Andre Beaver, so over a lap. I thought he was on the same lap, but he is not. But he is quite a bit faster than Andre Beaver. RC Rigdon has really pulled away. Brady Powers has taken the second position, with Xavier King involved in an incident. This is the incident for Xavier King. Just got sideways and went around. And all the way around as the 12 passes him right there. But now the race is back on, as Xavier King has caught him for that third position. And Brady checks up. The 884 of Xavier King does not. He gets right back by. Sideways out of the corner, they bang doors, and Brady Powers back around into the second position. Trying to make a move to get back to him. RC Rigdon has checked out with a 14-second lead over this battle for second. 3 seconds behind them is Dakota Redmond, still in the hunt for maybe a second place finish. Andre Beaver in the 5th spot, 1 lap down, and he's right here with these two that are racing for second, right in the middle of all this. As he goes around sideways, he's going to have to gather it up. The 19 will go by to get back onto the same lap, and he goes around again. Oh, he hits the 12. That's our third place competitor. Brady Powers will now move back to 4th. The 19 of Proctor, that may have hurt Andre Beaver. His car is hurt. He's limping it around, and Isaiah Proctor going to reel him in. This is going to be the pass for that transfer position. Isaiah Proctor back into the top 5. That pass now is going to hang on. Andre Beaver, a lot of damage for that race car, trying to get it back under control. I'm not sure what the issue was, but he did not go to the pits, but now seems to be up to speed. Kyle Calkins, almost a lap behind these drivers, seems to be out of it right now. But Isaiah Proctor just needs to not be in another incident. He should be able to advance. And he has, for the second half of this race, by quite a bit, been faster than RC Rigdon. That last time by, Isaiah Proctor with a 21.19, and RC Rigdon, our leader, with a 22.2. So 1.2 seconds quicker than our leader per lap right now. See the 884 is second place. You can see just how much faster Isaiah Proctor is in second place. So if he can just make it into that main race tomorrow night, maybe him getting all these crashes out of the way and facing adversity in the qualifying race will make it easier. Maybe that luck will be better tomorrow night. But RC Rigdon out front. Five laps remain for Rigdon. Xavier King in second. Brady Powers in third. Dakota Redmond there in the fourth spot. He's had a good, quiet night. Not a lot of damage. Just stayed on the lead lap. Actually, I believe he's one lap down now. And Isaiah Proctor in the fifth spot. Yes, Redmond is one lap down. Proctor's 2 laps down. Andre Beaver right now in 6th, trying to find a way, but he needs someone in that top 3 to have issues these last 2 laps. As one guy goes sideways, that's the 5. He's out right now in 8th. Kyle Calkins is in 7th, and now he goes around. That'll basically end his efforts. Dylan Holford and John Forbes Jr. are all out of this race. White flag for RC Rigdon. So the 5 that will advance to tomorrow night's main feature. We're going to find out in half a lap here. RC Rigdon will come around. Checkered flag being displayed. RC Rigdon will win. He will take the first position. Xavier King comes home in second. Brady Powers will end up in the 3rd spot. Dakota Redmond in 4th. And Isaiah Proctor will be your 5 that advance to tomorrow night's race. We'll see if we can get an interview. We'll have to try and get moved over to the second session. So as we set up for the second session, we will be right back with some interviews for these top 3 finishers.
What you think about when you're born into a fire. The Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Too late.
All right, we're up into the second session. Let's get a word from our third place finisher there, Brady Powers. Hey, Brady, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you come home third on that one. You advance to tomorrow night's feature. What were your thoughts out there getting 60 laps of practice?
Dude, I'll tell you what, this is my first time doing it. First time I've ever been a part of this. And this was the funnest race I think I've ever done in iRacing.
Yeah, it looks like a blast to be out there. Is there any type of, secret to it? Is it, just trying to keep your nose clean, or is it really just about running fast laps?
I personally think it was more about just keeping your nose clean. You just gotta know, you gotta have a lot of traffic perception on is that car gonna beat me there? Am I gonna beat that car there? There's a lot of things to it, but I feel like I did a good job of doing that. You saw me brake a lot, lock up the brakes going into the corners and the intersections, but overall, just keeping your nose clean and you have a great race.
How'd the car handle on the right-hand turns versus the left-hand turns? Was it much different?
It was a little loose on the right-hand turns, but it was honestly one of those things where you just keep her nice and slow and going around the corners and apex it right and you're good.
Absolutely. You got anybody like to shout out or thank after this effort to get into the main feature tomorrow night?
Thank you, Brayton Lester, for putting on this awesome race. Thanks to my parents for telling me to do iRacing. And that's about it.
All right, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
Thank you. And that was Brady Powers. And let's get a word from our second place finisher, Xavier King. Hey, Xavier, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy? Having another issue there on talking. Let's try it again. Hey, Xavier, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? All right, a little issue with Xavier. Let's take a second here. And get our name up here for RC Rigdon. And let's talk to RC Rigdon, see what he's got to say about it. Hey, RC, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Hey, a phenomenal run. You were very fast out there. What are your thoughts on your 60 laps you put in tonight? And what is that going to do for you tomorrow in 3 hours of this?
The 60 laps was pretty good. Track was a little warm than we were used to. Even from last night, from the competitors last night, I think we were about 10 or 15 degrees warmer. Made the track very slick, so you had to kind of like do slow is fast type thing. And it's going to patience and timing is going to be everything. It's not obviously I didn't set out some fast laps tonight. Fox set a really great fast lap considering the temperature of the track, and but fast times is one thing, but managing a crossover for 800 times or 900 times tomorrow night is going to be key.
Yeah, is there anything that you can do to really help yourself see those cars coming at the crossover, or is it, because I've seen a lot of drivers, and I think you're one of them, that would slow up, check up coming into that. Do you have some sort of track map or something that can help you?
I have two fronts. One, the sim does. We do have relaxed views in a sim. Some folks adjust their driver position. I think I'm one of the rarely few that actually kind of run from the hood. It kind of frees up just a tiny bit of visual space, but a lot of personal experience. Been figure eight racing a very long time, and to know that you just don't come out the turn barreling. You want to every time. You as a racer, you're like you just want to go, 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 but you gotta, as you're coming through the turn, you gotta spec out who's on the other side of the track, and then match up the timing of it all. And even if you're wrong 0.01% of the time, that's all it takes to lose. So you've got to err on the side of caution, in my opinion, coming out the turns.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a fast setup. Is there any difference between the right-hand turns and the left-hand turns? That just seems so crazy to me that we can get street stock to go so fast on a right-hand turn.
Yes. So it took some doing. This was a little bit more of aggressive setup that we ran in the previous season. The previous season, we kind of did a fixed season for everybody, fixed setup, and it was a much more safer. This is a much more aggressive form of that setup. There was actually the Grogans run my setup last night. I helped them out. I passed them some setup information, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them. And I knew I was on the right track when I helped those guys kind of get into. I know one of them got into the field, and the other one got real close. So.
Yeah, those guys were very fast last night. You were very fast here tonight, so obviously you know what you're doing. You got any shout-outs or anybody you'd like to thank after this winning effort to get into the main feature tomorrow?
Absolutely. I do want to thank Brayton for putting this on. He did all this, out of kindness of his heart, in my opinion. It didn't have to do any of this. He has a passion for it, and it shows in the quality of the event. And I want to thank all the other competitors that showed up, because we couldn't have a competitive race if we didn't have the amount of folks show up to race and put on a show, either on YouTube or Facebook. And for everybody that's watching, don't be afraid. Get you a PC, get you some pedals and steering wheel, and come join us. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good laughs and a lot of good elbow nudging at one another sometimes when things happen. But it's a fun time overall.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a lot of fun. It's definitely looks very fun from the booth. So thank you for putting on a great show, and hopefully you'll be up there battling it with some other heat race winners tomorrow night. So you're going to have some competition for you.
Thank you, sir. And I look forward to, and we'll see you tomorrow night as well, running our broadcast for us.
Absolutely. Great job. And that was RC Rigdon, our winner. Let's try and get another word here with Xavier King. See if we can work out those demons. Hey, Xavier, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? If you can hear me, looks like your mic's muted. Hey, you there, Xavier?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, there you are. Hey, a great run. You come home second. What are your thoughts there after 60 laps of some figure eight racing and heading into the main feature tomorrow night with a lot more cars?
Just happy we made it into the race. I haven't been able to get on my iRacing here a lot whole lately, and got on about 2 hours ago and was doing updates for about the last hour, so I didn't get many laps. I was just happy we made it through all the mess and made it to the main.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic run. It looks like you got a fast car. What do you put more of your money in? Do you put it in running the fast lap times, or just trying to avoid chaos in the center?
Really, on here, you're best off just trying to be consistent and watch missing all the mess and let all that die down. And then after the race settles down, you just kind of run your laps, and whatever happens, happens.
Absolutely. Well, phenomenal run. You got anybody you'd like to shout out, or anybody you'd like to thank after coming home second and advancing to the feature tomorrow?
Robin's racing, man. That's it. And hopefully we can do good in the race tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll be seeing you in the top 3 after tomorrow night's race.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And that was Xavier King. And you can hear the race cars going around. And we are into our second session. 3 minutes left for qualifying, or for practice, excuse me. You see Aaron Smith right now, the fastest. Cody Mulryan in second quick, and Aaron Spear third quick. Joey Foote up there, fourth fast. Cameron Iverson in fifth. We'll see who can qualify their way directly in. Aaron Smith coming out there to get a lap. Once again, our qualifying setup, our qualifying format for the ButtKicker 180-minute figure 8 qualifying format. The top 2 will advance from qualifying. So we'll take 2 directly to qualifying. They won't race in the heat races or the qualifying main event. Then we'll have 2 heat races. There'll be 20 laps, and they will set the field for the qualifying race feature. That qualifying race feature will be 40 laps, only 1 faster pair. Now, last night, that 1 faster pair didn't really come into effect much. Wasn't a whole lot of wrecks in the center section in the crossover. But just as we just witnessed, there was 2 or 3 cars that had to use that faster pair and got wrecked again. So it definitely came into effect having only that 1 faster pair. So the top 5 in that qualifying race feature will advance straight to the ButtKicker 180-minute figure 8 main event tomorrow night right here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. And your 2 quickest, can they advance straight through, will be Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan. Those are the 2 we're looking at in qualifying. It's coming up in 10 seconds. And Aaron Spear in third. And Joey Foote fourth. Cameron Iverson in fifth. Those are our fastest in practice. Can they be the fastest in qualifying? And we head to qualifying. Who's going to be the first one out on the racetrack? Appears to be Joey Foote in the 35 will be out there first. Andrew Teep out on the track. Frank Wade in the 42. He heads out on the track. Nick Marshall. Cody Mulryan out there in the 15. You heard R.C. Rigdon talking a lot about people and their different perspectives and how they choose to race this. He said he races from the hood. I saw a picture that Aaron Smith had posted where he's running third person in VR. So yeah, that seems like a very wild concept. So he's out behind the car looking at his car, kind of similar to maybe this view right here is what he's seeing, but probably down further as he sets the fastest qualifying lap right now. And Cody Mulryan will move into second place. 2062 and a 2067. I think both of those times slower than our top two qualifying efforts in the first round of the night. But all you have to do is beat the drivers in your session. Cameron Iverson third quick. Fourth quick is Aaron Spear. Can't get enough. Andrew Teep in fifth. Jeremy Vanderhoof still out there running. He's sixth quick. Joey Foote in seventh. We may have our two fast qualifying. We've got Alex Henry still out on the racetrack. Jeremy Vanderhoof moves up to third quick, but can't get into that top two spot. Tyler Stanley's out there, as well as Mark Brenkamp. He goes sideways. Ben Tunney out there still running. Brenkamp comes home 13th in qualifying. Tunney's first lap puts him 12th quick. So Tunney will try and maybe reset his car. He'll be 8th quick right now. He's got enough time for maybe one more lap, but Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan are currently your two that have advanced. Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan, both rookies in this race, their first 180-minute figure eight race, and it doesn't look like Ben Tunney's going to try and go for it again. So Aaron Smith will be our pole sitter, or will advance straight through. Let's see if we can get a word with Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan. Oh, he's in there. All right, so we got both of our two that have advanced into the main event. Let's see if we can get them into, and we will start with Aaron Smith II. Let's get a word with Aaron Smith. Hey, Aaron, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Hey, a fantastic qualifying effort, the fastest in this session. You move up and go straight to tomorrow night's feature race. What are your thoughts on your car? How's it handling, and what do you think your long run speed's going to be?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. I kept getting wrecked in practice, got knocked across the line to get that 12-second lap, so that wasn't intentional. But to be able to come back out here and put down the quickest time of the session, it's certainly a pretty good feeling. I'm looking forward to seeing how the car reacts in the long run.
Yeah, we talked to R.C. Rigdon earlier after he won the last race, and he talked about some of these drivers having different perspectives. He said he was driving from the hood, and I saw a picture that you posted in the chat there where you're driving third-person VR. What's that like? I've never even thought to do that.
I just tried that for a couple laps in practice there. I'm certainly not going to do it in the race, but it feels pretty neat. Like, you can see all the people coming in the intersection there, but it's pretty hard to see where the front end is going into the corners, so I'll probably stay away from that for the main event, but it's certainly something to think about.
Yeah, definitely creative, but yeah, you advance to tomorrow night's race. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out, or anybody you'd like to thank after this fast lap?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks for putting the show on, Brayton and all those guys for just putting this whole deal together again, and y'all broadcasting, all the folks watching. Hopefully we can put on a pretty good show here.
Absolutely. We'll be looking forward to that speed tomorrow, running to the front of the field. Good luck, Aaron.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Aaron Smith, he advances. Now let's talk to Cody Mulryan. He also advances to tomorrow night's race. Hey, Cody, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, a phenomenal lap puts you second in tonight's qualifying and advances you straight to tomorrow night's race. What are your thoughts on your car? Obviously fast on the short run, but what's it going to be on the long run as we've got 180 minutes of figure eight racing tomorrow night?
Oh, well, obviously you got to keep your nose clean, but I feel like we've got a pretty good long run piece.
What do you think the effort there, the most important thing to winning tomorrow is? Is it just keeping your nose clean, or is it having a fast race car, or the combination of the two?
Combination of both, but I think keeping your nose clean is probably going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, do you think these guys that are getting an extra 60 laps gives them any type of an advantage, or do you think you're going to have enough time to practice before tomorrow night's race?
I think the biggest advantage is just getting a race with some of the other guys and seeing how they're going to race you and whatnot, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, good luck for tomorrow night's race. You got anybody like shout out or thank after advancing straight to the feature?
Oh, just my teammates. The 84 car and the 42 from last night and Aaron Spear the 7.
All right. Well, appreciate you, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll be in Victory Lane.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, now on to our first heat race. Jeremy Vanderhoof out in the lead right now. Aaron Spear in the second place. These two trying to keep their nose clean. Get that track map up. They are quite a bit ahead of third place right now, Brendan Holford. Joey Foote in third place, Frank Wade right there with him. Alex Henry out there, he's 3 laps down, has already been involved in an incident. The good thing, though, is that this race does not affect your eligibility. You are locked into the qualifying race. That'll be immediately after this one. So Alex Henry, that's good for him. But right now, Jeremy Vanderhoof out front. Side by side with Aaron Spear. This will be for the front row for the qualifying race. And it's a lot easier to advance if you're from the front row than that second row, because you're going to be starting third instead of first. That puts you a lot closer to that cutoff line. You get out front, you might be able to run out and get ahead. Brayton Laster hitting us with a fun fact. Jeremy Vanderhoof is run in 3 actual 3-hour figure 8 events in real life 11 times, and has ran in the actual 3-hour figure 8 event. I'll be able to read in a minute. In real life 11 times, and has over 3,000 career laps completed. So Jeremy Vanderhoof certainly experienced as he gets passed though for the lead by Aaron Spear, now out front. And these two getting dangerously close to the back half of the field. Right now, Frank Wade is in the 3rd position. Brendan Holford in 4th. Joey Foote in 5th. And as you're going to see, it's very close coming into the crossover. He checks up, lets the leaders by. Aaron Spear now starting to check out ahead of Jeremy Vanderhoof. 8 laps to go. See the gap already starting to form. Jeremy Vanderhoof in 2nd position. Frank Wade in 3rd. As the 11 gets hit again, has to go to the pits. Brendan Holford choosing to slow down there. Doesn't want to get hit. And this qualifying heat is a good practice for that qualifying feature that we're about to have, because this one doesn't really matter. It matters for your starting position, which will have an effect, as we saw in that first heat. It does have an effect. On your ability to advance, but not the biggest deal if you do get hit in this one. Brendan Holford and Joey Foote racing very closely. Foote trying to get moved up and get closer to the front of the field. Oh, it's a 77 kind of come across his nose. Oh, and that hit Jeremy Vanderhoof. He goes around from 2nd position. Doesn't look like the car has a lot of damage. He is able to continue. Frank Wade gets by him as well as Brendan Holford. Both of those drivers get by Jeremy Vanderhoof. So now Vanderhoof is going to have to drive through the field in the main feature. Jeremy Foote currently in 5th now. Aaron Spear, your leader, comes off the final turn and through the crossover to take the checkered flag. He'll start on the front row. Brendan Holford in 2nd. Frank Wade in 3rd. Did not take the line. Jeremy Vanderhoof crosses the line before Frank Wade. So that will cost him a position in a starting row. as he gets sideways there, and Jeremy Foote comes home in 5th. Now for our second qualifying heat. Cameron Iverson's going to be up front. Looks like the 23 already smoking. Not sure what's up with that. That is Nick Marshall. Car's starting to move, so we're about to get going. Just qualifying heat. Cameron Iverson will be up front in the number 10. To his outside, Andrew Teep. Tyler Stanley back there. Mark Brenkamp in the 78. Ben Tunney's going to start 3rd. And Nick Marshall will round out the field. I already see some smoke there from that 23. Not sure what happened there, but pace car about to pull off. And we will have one more pace lap before we start our 20-lap qualifying heat. Setting the starting lineup for the qualifying feature, where only 5 will advance. The green flag's out. We're underway. Cameron Iverson out front already. A little sideways, has to check up. Andrew Teep doesn't want to get into him. Ben Tunney now to the inside for for second position. Tyler Stanley in 4th, Nick Marshall 5th, Mark Brenkamp in 6th right now. And in 7th is Dakota Redmond, who's out. I think he actually ran in the first session, so he's not in here. Ben Tunney goes a little wide. Tyler Stanley taking a look on the inside. They're side by side. Braden letting us know. We'll have to get an interview with Braden Laster before tonight's over. But the number 5 of Ben Tunney, he has an incident there with, looks like Nick Marshall. He has to tow to the pit lanes. The 23 Nick Marshall, already an incident with Ben Tunney. A lot of damage on the front of that race car. But looks like he's able to move on, or to continue on here. Not too far behind leaders. Actually didn't cost him much time at all. But this number 5 of Ben Tunney has ran in the actual race, the real-life race, a whopping 20 times, over 6,500 laps completed, and has won the actual race a staggering 4 times. So Ben Tunney, quite the celebrity in figure 8 racing in real life, a well-known name among figure 8 racers. Ben Tunney, currently 4th in our first qualifying heat. Top 4 still all pretty close together. For everybody that's watching, appreciate you all tuning in. If you wouldn't mind if you're watching on Facebook, give us a like. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe or give this stream a like. We appreciate every single one of you that do that. Got a lot of people tuned in for this event. We had over 1,000 views just on Facebook alone last night, so appreciate everybody for tuning in. Right now, Cameron Iverson feeling the heat, the pressure on from Andrew Teep. These guys cutting the corner, hitting the cones. Oh, little hit to the 10, the 12 of Tyler Stanley's going to look to the inside. He's looking to take advantage, but he gets a little sideways off the corner as he had to cut it short. Sends it in, back to the inside again. The battle for second is on. Cameron Iverson going to have to try to take this to try and get away from this group. Andrew Teep able to hold that second position out behind these guys. Ben Tunney there in the fourth spot. He's going to want to try to advance his position to have a better starting spot. Looking to the outside now, the 12. The 23 with another incident. He is currently in sixth. Mark Brinkamp still on the lead lap. We're currently in the fifth position. Cameron Iverson now finding a little bit of a distance between him and second place. Andrew Teep trying to reel him in, though. And from some of the way the competitors were talking last night, when you get one of those orange cones stuck up under your car, you do feel a difference. It does cost you a little bit of time. Cameron Iverson sideways out of the corner. Andrew Teep. Can he take advantage? Tyler Stanley up to third. Not really in contention for the win right now unless these top two take each other out, which is entirely possible. And Ben Tunney right there along with them. A four-car battle for the lead. Teep to the outside. Oh, Cameron goes sideways. And the 5 of Ben Tunney blows up after that incident he had earlier. He does not make it to the finish. 2 to go, and Ben Tunney engines expires, and he'll have to tow. But he will still be able to run in that qualifying race here in just a moment. Coming down the white flag. What measures will Andrew Teep take to try and win a qualifying heat? Three cars battle. The 12 and the 84 side by side. 12 locks it up. Cameron Iverson will come around to win. Andrew Teep in second. Tyler Stanley in third. And Mark Brinkamp will come home in the fourth position. And Ben Tunney in the pits. He'll finish fifth. And Nick Marshall rounds out the field in sixth as we go to the main qualifying feature race. Once again, as a reminder, Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan will both advance straight in from qualifying. So they will not be in this feature race, but they will be here tomorrow night. For the 180-minute figure 8 feature race. And I just want to take this time to thank all of our sponsors. ButtKicker, a big stepping up in a nice way. Also, auto repair, VinStickers.com. Check them out. And of course, 5-8 Designs. Thank you to all of our sponsors for this event. Brayton Laster thanks you. And getting some word from Casey Gallagher in the chat that Mr. Cameron Iverson is a street stock driver at Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington. So a lot of these drivers have a lot of real world experience in the street stock car or in figure 8 racing. So who will win this main feature as this warm-up time is expiring? Looks like we'll have 15, I think, competitors, and only the top 5 will advance. So this is our biggest field of all 4 of these qualifying races. This is our biggest field. It's going to be the most exciting one. Thank you for tuning in here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. As we grid for tonight's main feature, advancing on qualifying speed to tomorrow night's 180-minute figure 8 race. Both Aaron Smith and Cody Mulryan starting on the pole for this feature. Aaron Spear in the number 7. Cameron Iverson will be on the outside pole. Brendan Holford will start 3rd. Aaron Teep in 4th. Jeremy Vanderhoof will start in 5th. Tyler Stanley will start in the 6th position. Frank Wade in 7th. Mark Brenkamp in 8th. 9th will be Joey Foote. Then Tunney will start 10th. Starting 11th is Alex Henry, and Nick Marshall will round out our field. Let us know in the chat or in the comments section, who are you rooting for in this qualifying race? Only 5 will advance to tomorrow night's feature. Aaron Spear, Cameron Iverson, Brendan Holford, Andrew Teep, and Jeremy Vanderhoof hold those positions right now that everyone behind them are vying for. Off the last corner as we get ready to go green for a 40-lap feature. We are underway. The 77 gets moved pretty quick. Bumped again. Jeremy Vanderhoof already up to 3rd. Everybody's swinging wide. We're going to have an issue getting down into turn 3. They do make it. Vanderhoof gets spun to the outside. As well as looks like Foote gets spun around. Joey Foote, no, he doesn't. It's Andrew Teep, who was in 2nd. And 2 of our fastest drivers get spun on the first lap. Jeremy Vanderhoof and Andrew Teep. They're going to have to try and find their way back into the top 5. Aaron Spear already taking a lead. Cameron Iverson in second. Ben Tunney is now moved up to the third, racing with Brendan Holford for that position. And Alex Henry looks like he goes around. Now the track map back up and available. Vanderhoof and Teep have caught the field back. They're now back up to 9th and 10th as they're going to have to drive up to inside the top 5. Vanderhoof slows down. Oh, looks to the inside. These two racing hard might take themselves out. Vanderhoof very quick. As one goes around, that's Mark Brinkamp. And the 7 of Spear checks up to not get hit there and loses the lead as Cameron Iverson goes around. Brinkamp now back in 12th. Doesn't want to hit our leaders. But that's part of it. That's what makes figure 8 racing so great. As now Brinkamp and Frank Wade both go around. They will go a lap down as Cameron Iverson comes around. Ben Tunney into the second position. Aaron Spear now up to third. Tyler Stanley battling with him for that third position. Joey Foote a good ways behind. He is in our transfer position, and this is the battle for that transfer spot. Joey Foote's got it. Jeremy Vanderhoof, who's been very fast, is trying to make his way back in to the top 5 after an early wreck. He and Andrew Teep go around early on the first lap, and now they both can see 5th place, but they're going to end up battling with each other. And Aaron Spear is going to have to stop being so conservative. He jumped out to a big lead, but now has lost not only the lead, but has dropped all the way back to 4th. And Jeremy Vanderhoof is in 5th, trying to reel him in. Joey Foote sideways. He's battling with Andrew Teep as they check up at the crossover. Vanderhoof stops, and now he was in 5th, but now Joey Foote, that puts Joey Foote back into the transfer position. The top 3 all within a second of each other. Cameron Iverson, our leader, Ben Tunney in 2nd. Tyler Stanley 3rd, and Aaron Spear battling for that 3rd position. Joey Foote still in. And Jeremy Vanderhoof gets hit in the crossover. Boom. Jeremy Vanderhoof, that might be his opportunity to make it in. As now Joey Foote. Oh, and the 10 of Cameron Iverson. He was our leader. Tried to check up. Ben Tunney involved as well. So Iverson drops all the way back to 6th. He'll have to come in to take his fast repair. Andrew Teep is now back in after that lap 1 spin. Jeremy Vanderhoof is in 6th position. Ben Tunney's going to be your leader. Tyler Stanley in 2nd. Aaron Spear right there. So these three running very well. Very close to disaster as the 10 of Cameron Iverson was coming back through. Iverson, who was leading this race, is now all the way back in the 9th position. And he's got a lot of work cut out for him. Jeremy Vanderhoof right now is 8.5 seconds behind Andrew Teep and is not running quite as fast as the 84. He's about a half a lap down. And Teep trying to get through and trying to catch this front group. Foot's directly in front of him, so this is worth the starting spots for tomorrow night. So Joey Foot, now is back to 5th as Teep goes around the outside. So now the 6 of Vanderhoof. That lap quite a bit faster than Foot. 18 laps to try and reel him in. As one went around, it was not one of our transfer. Whoever it was got it saved and kept going straight. Tyler Stanley involved in an incident, the number 12. And he was running in the 3rd position. Somehow the 7, I don't believe, was involved in it. He went wide and 2 hits for the 12. And now the 12 of Tyler Stanley has to pit, and you see the 6 of Jeremy Vanderhoof drives by, and that'll put him into the top 5, and the 12 of Tyler Stanley out after having a very promising shot at it. Oh, and 2 more go sliding. That's the 35 of Joey Foot that gets booted. Joey Foot will continue. Looks like the 23 was involved in that one. We'll see this 35 of Joey Foot get booted across here in the intersection. Oh, a big hit. Able to keep that car going. Only 13 laps remain. Ben Tunney in the lead, feeling the pressure from Aaron Spear. Andrew Teep actually running this group down. Joey Foot is still in the 4th position, and Jeremy Vanderhoof is the last one in right now in 5th. Brendan Holford is in 6th, but he is a lap behind the lead group. So it looks like Brendan will need one of these top 5 to crash out. This is a battle for position, he and Frank Wade, as Frank Wade, involved in that earlier incident out in the back of the field, has driven all the way up to 6th. So if one of these top couple of drivers get hit just like that, Jeremy Vanderhoof And that's the second hit to that nose. We saw Ben Tunney in that last race with 2 to go. His engine expires. So you got to think Jeremy Vanderhoof has got to be watching. As Spear has taken the lead and pulled away from Ben Tunney. Teep trying to get through and run down that 5. Joey's still hanging around in the 4th position. Jeremy Vanderhoof not too far behind, but he's about to go 1 lap down. We saw an incident between him and the 42. Brendan Holford right behind him, but he is a lap down to Jeremy. So he needs a lot of effort, or some help really for the other ones to wreck for him to get in. Six laps to go. Ben Tunney in second. Andrew Teep not far behind. He's done a good job of, after that first lap incident, just keeping his nose clean and driving back to the front of the field. And that was the 35 of Joey Foote that got involved in that incident. A little damage to the nose, but he will continue on. Checks up in the 42. Frank Wade gets hit. And Joey Foote, back-to-back incidences. Vanderhoof trying to drive back up here, and if he can get into this 4th spot, that'll help him for the starting positions tomorrow. But now he hits the 77 of Holford, who was trying to find his way in there, but after that, that's pretty much going to eliminate him. Aaron Spear out front, and he has quite the lead, 2.5 seconds over Ben Tunney, and Spear 7 seconds over Teep in 3rd. Joey Foote 20 seconds behind, and Jeremy Vanderhoof 1 lap down with only 2 to go. Those are going to be your 5 that advance. White flag for Aaron Spear. And Aaron Spear crosses the line to win tonight's qualifying race. Ben Tunney comes home in 2nd. Andrew Teep will cross the line in 3rd. And Joey Foote will end up in 4th. Jeremy Vanderhoof will advance to tomorrow night's race in the 5th position. Eliminated will be Brendan Holford, Nick Marshall, Frank Wade, Tyler Stanley, Cameron Iverson, Alex Henry, Mark Brinkamp. They will have an opportunity tomorrow night in a last chance qualifier to drive through, and hopefully they will be able to do that. But Aaron Spear will be your winner. Ben Tunney in 2nd, Andrew Teep in 3rd, Joey Foote 4th, and Jeremy Vanderhoof will all advance straight to the feature tomorrow night. We'll see if we can get a word from some of our top finishers. We'll start here with our 3rd place. All right, let's see if we can get a word with Andrew Teep. Hey, Andrew, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, a phenomenal run, but you get involved in that first lap incident, and looks like you're going to be out, but somehow drive your way back up through there, keep your nose clean for the rest of the race, and you drive all the way back up to third place. What was it like out there? This was our largest race so far, so this is going to be the best experience for tomorrow night's race.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I definitely had doubts in the beginning that I wasn't going to make it, but I just kept my nose clean, and we ended up third.
Yeah, it looks like you were very fast. Did you? What are your thoughts on your car setup? Is it good? Do you think your long run speed is as good as your short run speed?
Yeah, we've been practicing all week, and I had a decent setup, and I actually got into the race tonight, and it just wasn't going good. So I tweaked some stuff in that last little warm up, and it ended up working out pretty well. And I feel pretty confident in our chances tomorrow if we can stay clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think we have some drivers that qualified straight in? Do you think that being able to run this 40-lap feature and that 20-lap heat, do you think that gives you any type of advantage over those that qualified straight in?
Maybe some. I know a few of them raced this before and ran a lot of laps on the 8, so it's not really much difference. But some guys haven't ran a whole lot, so I definitely these 60 laps that we just ran definitely would help a guy.
Absolutely.
Especially getting ready for what's going to take on tomorrow.
Yeah, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank after your third place effort tonight and advancing tomorrow?
Not really. I mean, just my buddies, Cody, and we just worked all week and getting the setup right in the car and just staying clean.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be talking to you tomorrow night, and hopefully it'll be up there in the top 3.
Yes, sir.
And that was Andrew Teep, our third place finisher, and Ben Tunney, I'm told doesn't have Discord. So Ben Tunney, great job tonight if you're listening. And then we will move up to our winner of tonight's race, Aaron Spear. Let's see what Aaron Spear has to say. Hey Aaron, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I do. How we doing?
Hey man, a phenomenal race. Love watching you guys out there battling it out. Looked like you were being a little bit conservative there early in the race, but you dropped back to 4th after having the early lead and drive all the way back up to take the win. What were your thoughts here on this race? This was our biggest field before tomorrow night's race. So should be a lot of good experience.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I had good pace there in the beginning, and then we started catching traffic through the cross through, and it just wasn't a chance I was willing to take. I mean, we had a lot of laps left. I knew guys were going to be pushing real hard, so I gave up a few, but I gained a lot in the end run.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch you guys battle it out. What are your thoughts on your car and your chances for tomorrow night, as it'll be 180 minutes of figure 8 racing tomorrow night?
Car feels great. Have to do a little bit of fine tuning for the endurance of it. As you know, 180 minutes ain't nothing. We'll come out strong tomorrow. Probably come out conservative again and see where we're at the end.
Yeah, well, after that great effort, you're advanced straight to tomorrow night's race. You got anybody you'd like to shout out or give a thanks to after your win tonight?
Just like to thank my family for putting up with me for doing this stuff, and shout out to my Indiana Club of auto racing guys. I think that's it, man. Ready for tomorrow.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for putting on a great show, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow night. Hopefully it'll be in Victory Lane.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then.
All righty. And that was Aaron Spear, our our winner for tonight. And let's get a word with Brayton Lasser, the guy that's put this all together, and the guy that has just putting a lot of effort into all of this entire weekend.
Tell you what,
On one. Here we go. Hey, Brayton, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I sure do, buddy.
Hey, we've seen 2 nights of great racing. You have put this event on, and it's run flawlessly so far. Tomorrow night we've got the big event. What are your thoughts so far on what you've seen and what's to come tomorrow night?
Yeah, we've had 2 action-packed nights, no doubt about it. We've had crossover action, we've had corner action, we've had people wrecking each other on straightaways, which is actually where most of the figure 8 wrecks happen. But we have a star-studded field, I think, of 28 drivers or so. We're going to add a little more in the last chance races tomorrow. But we have a pretty good lineup. It's a long race. It's a type of race most of the drivers have never done before. It's a whole different style of endurance racing. I mean, not only does the driver themselves have to sit there in a chair turning a wheel for 180 minutes straight, but they gotta rely on their equipment. It's like real life. Can your car go for 3 hours? Can you drive your car for 3 hours straight? I know most people will probably be a little iffy about it. If you gotta rely on your computer, if you're running VR, that's a whole different thing to worry about. Is your Oculus software going to crash? Is your HTC Vive software going to crash? Do you have a backup plan? If your wheel breaks, this is a long race. Most people normally don't run for 180 minutes straight, especially on a race as aggravating on equipment as a figure 8 race.
Yeah, you did a great job in your practice or in your qualifying race yesterday. What do you think your chances are coming away with a win?
That'd be pretty awesome. I got 3rd place last year. I'm a pretty conservative driver on iRace and in real life, so it kind of gives me a little excitement knowing I got a shot to go out here and survive tomorrow. And last year, the first half of the race, I ran in the back 20 for a large majority. I led a lap or so early on. I got wrecked. I just fell back. And the second half of the race, I'm like, all right, it's go time. We're going to start pushing a little bit, but we're going to be more conservative. And I just kind of took my time and, had my pace, and I was able to move up to 3rd over the last hour or so. So it's we have a lot of rookies. I think we have 8 or so returning drivers out of a field of 28 that were in the race last year. So we have 20 rookies running with us for the 180 minute for the first ever 180 minute endurance race.
Yeah, it's going to be a great field. You said we had 28 already set after our 2 nights. How many are we going to have total, and what are the other ways that these guys that aren't in yet are able to get in?
So we have 28 locked in from the previous 2 nights, broadcast live right here on the Fired Up Racing Network. We had 8 drivers get in on time. That was the fastest 2 drivers from every qualifying race. And then we had 5 drivers from each qualifying race their way in to give us 28. We will have 2 last chance races tomorrow at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock that may or may not be broadcasted. But we are giving the drivers the opportunity to run in both races, so they'll have 2 opportunities tomorrow. If they can make both, that is, to try and race their way in. Only the winner of that will be advancing, so we're looking to have probably 15 to 20 drivers, if I had to guess, maybe even 25 in each one, and it's winner take all. So it's going to be definitely exciting to see how that one happens. So we have some provisionals to hand out, or to give out, I guess. We'll have a fan vote that goes up around noon tomorrow on the Facebook page, and the driver that gets the most votes per se will advance that way. That doesn't advance to the qualifying races. And then the highest ranked driver, or the highest finishing driver in last year's 180 minute endurance event, will also receive a provisional. And then we have a promoter's provisional that is kind of I want to say my choice. I've put this thing together. I have the option to use that if I want. I'll try to make it merit-based and as fair as possible. I'm not going to go get someone that ran a lap and a half in a heat race and called it quit, though. So if I do decide to exercise that option, then I will try to make it pretty fair and pretty deserving for that one. So we're looking around a minimum of 30 drivers or so, maybe up to 32. We might have some drivers not show up, some happen last minute. We do have some alternates kind of in line, in place for that. We've already had one driver drop out and be replaced with another driver from his heat race. So we're looking, though, to start around 30 or so, no matter what.
And that fan vote, what Facebook page can the fans find that?
That will be on the iRacing Extreme Figure 8 Racing Series Facebook page. I run it. I do everything there. Kind of put together this whole thing. I'm pretty proud. I had a dream about 3 years ago to put together a 180-minute version of a figure 8 race here on iRacing. And it took us a couple of years, and we finally did it last year in March. And I'm glad to come back and do it again. We have a lot more drivers this time around. Awesome broadcast. So I'm very excited that we're able to get this up and rolling again. And we also run some league stuff too. every couple months. So you can also, if you're interested in running figure eight stuff, but not the 180 minute. Obviously, we post league updates there, so anybody at home watching, you can go check out the Facebook page, iRacing Extreme Figure 8 Racing Series, and that's Extreme, XTREME.
Alrighty. Well, appreciate you for all of your effort. You want to give a shout out to our sponsors?
Yes, a huge shout out to everybody involved. That's 5-8 Designs. It makes killer schemes there. That's Garrett Fox. He does an awesome job of everything. ButtKicker, of course, they've come on board. Huge, and they're going to provide our winner with a free ButtKicker Gamer Plus unit here, which is, if for those that don't have a ButtKicker know what it is, it's basically something to hook up to your chair, the base of your chair, and it would simulate a bump or a crash. So if you get hit in iRacing, your right front, goes down or vibrating, it will vibrate your chair until your butt falls off. It kicks in the butt. So that's gonna be very interesting to run tomorrow. I have one hooked up. I might have to turn it off though, because 180 minutes of that, I'm gonna be pretty sore already. So I don't know. I want to get kicked in the butt for 180 minutes straight. And then autorepairbenchstickers.com, of course, for all your bench sticker needs, classical vehicles, remodeling the vehicle, something like that. Go and check them out. And of course, Startup Racing Network, you, Dakota, you have done a wonderful job with this broadcast so far, and I cannot wait for 180 minutes straight of figure eight action tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I know this race right here was super chaotic, and it was our biggest so far with, I think, 12 competitors. So
yes,
tomorrow night with 32, that's going to be wild.
Yes, very much so. I believe we actually have Ben Tunney too in the waiting room. I'm waiting to get interviewed. So
yeah, we're going to give
we
him a
want to
shout
go ahead and give him his chance to talk. 4-time, as we call him. World figure eight 3-hour champion there. So he has a lot of experience. That's cool. We have a lot of rookies, like I mentioned. Ben ran with us last year. He got last, though, had some computer problems. But we've had a lot of drivers run with us before in the league stuff. Not a lot of them have run the 180 minute. I got my hopes up. We have a lot of rookies. We got Perez Slora, Danny Cochran, Demos, the Gums, the Proctors, a lot of fast people that aren't, they don't really run with us before. A lot of them, this is their first ever race with us. So, and I know Ben Tunney, they're unloaded, quote unquote, came into that session of qualifying, probably not having turned a lap in months, got the hand me out setup and went cranked to 20.9, about won that main event out there. So that is going to be very fun to watch him tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll get a word with Ben Tunney. Appreciate you, Brayton, for all of your hard work, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. And hopefully you can get up there and get a win.
That's the plan. Thank you, Dakota.
Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get a word with Ben Tunney here. He advances. Hey, Ben, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, man, what a phenomenal run. You, as Brayton said, you just kind of fired up the old iRacing rig and took the fixed setup and come out there and almost won this thing tonight. What were your thoughts on the iRacing version of this race? As you've got a lot of real life iRacing or real life figure eight experience.
Yeah, it was fun. I just been wanting to run these races in different leagues and not just the figure eight ones, other iRacing ones, but I keep my rig at my office at my work. So when I leave for the evening from work, I'm not around my computer to be able to play. And then in the summer, I'm always working on race cars and getting ready for the real racetrack and stuff. So I don't have much time to, but I knew this figure eight was coming up this evening, and I tried to get here in time just to barely make it. And I ended up having an emergency situation where I couldn't even get here to practice like I wanted to and get somewhat some laps in to be halfway competitive. But I just barely made it in time to join the session, and I just jumped in that heat race there. And I had an old setup I saved from like the last time I ever ran figure eight, and I just tried to run with it, and then talked to Brayton and Garrett Fox, and they helped me with a couple of tweaks to try to make for the 40 lapper, and got it a little better, but still not great. But I still had a good time. It's always fun to play around with, especially during the off season. And I just want to tell Andrew TP, I'm sorry on the air of spinning him on like the first or second lap. It's not real life, so when you bump somebody, you can't feel it like you can in a car. I thought I was just close to him, but I was actually against him and accidentally pushed him around. So didn't mean to do that, but otherwise it was still fun. And I don't know if I'll even get to race tomorrow because of whatever's going on at what time of day that all happens. I'll try to, but I just wanted to be able to play tonight, and if I can play tomorrow, then I will.
Yeah, well, we definitely want you in the field. You got a lot of real life experience. We talked to Brayton. He said that you've won the real race 4 times. What kind of advice can you give to some of these guys that are in here for their first figure 8 race?
I have a lot of give and take. I realize that it's a long race, so each corner doesn't have an emphasis like it always does in a short, normal feature. So, and obviously this is different. You can't see that well. The figure 8 intersection on this game, you got the wall there coming off the right-hander, and your left-hander is your best option to see because you don't have a window net and the wall's not as bad. So try to be looking ahead and plan what you're going to do for the intersection, and try to have a lot of give and take. If you see a guy in front of you that's going to have to make an evasive maneuver or brake or turn for some reason to avoid something, and you're right there, instead of just forcing the issue, just let him come on over, just like on the regular highway. Someone's got their signal on, you let them in just to be a good guy. So a lot more of that can go on in a real long endurance race. You can be a good guy and let a guy in, cut him a little slack and keep riding. Chances are, if you're there at the end and you haven't had a bad incident, most likely the guy in front of you will. So it's not life or death. It'll just be smooth, and keep your tires as cool as you can. Don't squall them around sideways and spinning out. Just drive smooth and easy, and try to pay attention to as much of your surroundings as you can, and have a little patience and make all the right, smart moves that you can pick up easy spots from.
Yeah, that sounds like absolutely sound advice. You got anybody you'd like to thank after the effort tonight, coming home second?
I want to thank Brayton for hosting it and putting on the event. I want to thank them for allowing me to join on such short notice and being helpful to tell me what to do and what the password was, all in a quick time frame. Garrett Fox and Brayton for trying to help me with the little setup real fast, and all the drivers that raced out there. They were all racing, clean and fun and trying to have a good time and not being stupid. And that's it. I don't need to thank any sponsors on here, but I want to thank all you guys for being fun, good people to race with. So hope it's fun if I get to race tomorrow.
Yeah, we hope to see you tomorrow night, and certainly going to be competitive. And hopefully we'll be seeing you in Victory Lane tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
And that was Ben Tunney, 4-time winner of the Real 3-hour event that they hold up in Indianapolis. Some great advice there. If anybody wants to take that to heart, just take it easy, guys. 180 minutes is a long time to race, especially running figure 8s. So great job to all of our 28 competitors that have already advanced. There'll be 2 races tomorrow night, and tomorrow during the day, 2 opportunities for someone else to advance. So appreciate everybody for coming out. And we will talk to you tomorrow night for the feature, the 180-minute figure 8 race, right here on the Throttle Up Racing Network.